What makes you get in the car knowing you're going to sleep at a truck station and some chick is going to come up to you, some chubby chick at 4 in the morning, knock on your glass and go, "Are you looking for a date?" And you're like, "Not really." You filthy animal. And there's a bunch of guys shooting meth. I mean, when I used to pull into those truck stops, they were crazy.
Really?
And I would have a knife.
What's the name of that truck stop? I don't think we stopped there.
You name it. You name it. You go to some truck stops and see gay activity, like a guy going into the bathroom, and then like a guy going in and walking out, but that guy's still in there, and another guy going out, and that guy's still in there, and another guy going out, and you're like, wow. And you're there rolling like your joints.
That's a different kind of bathroom attendant.
Yeah, like you're rolling your joints, and you have a box of chains, so you could get like what are those fucking chips that are like a cone?
Oh, Bugles.
Bugles. Like I still remember living off of Bugles.
Really?
And like Subway veggie and cheese. Like
it's so funny.
It's so fucking crazy. Like what makes you? I've asked the last 3 comics that have come on here. Like ever since
I can answer that question for sure. And it's knowing that there's this book by David Lynch, and I don't remember the exact title, but it's like Finding the Big Fish or Catching the Big Fish. And it's just the thought, you let all these little fishes go by. It's like you're fishing, you catch one, you let it go. And that's a day job. It's this opportunity. It's an office job. I mean, you let all those fishes go because there's a big fish coming, and that's comedy. And for me, seeing guys like you, Rogan, look at D'Elia, Brendan Schaub, like Theo Vaughn, you guys caught the big fish. And I know that. You know what I mean? It's like, and I know that
How did we catch the big fish?
Because you guys are doing what you love on your own terms. That's the big fish. You guys are doing comedy. You guys are doing what seems right to you. You know what I mean? Look at your podcast, how amazing this is. You know what I mean? I'm blessed that this is my second time here. The first time I was on here, your audience was so warm.
No, they're very warm. They're receptive.
On Twitter, they're like, "Welcome to the church.
Like
welcome to the church."
They believe in all this shit. This is our thing.
You get to create.
This is our thing.
People are on your wavelength. Nobody's telling you, "Hey, Joey, the sponsors thing, you can't read it like that." No. They're happy to do business with you. They're happy to listen to you week after week. You caught the big fish. You have a wife, you have a kid, you have a family.
But do these things just happen? Are they luck?
No.
Are they persistence? I believe in the universe, and I believe the universe has a certain strength.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that if the universe sees that you're really fucking suffering, but you're not bitching, the universe hurts. The universe hates crybabies, bro.
Right.
And guess what? I was the biggest crybaby of them all because I know what it is to be in love. I know what it is to break up with somebody. I know what it is to be cheated on, and those feelings you get. In 1994, I fell in love with comedy so hard, like nothing else mattered.
Right.
Like you fall, like it's like falling in love with a woman. I was watching when you watch the Motley Crue movie, he talks about falling in love, and it gave him a warmth that he never had growing up. And that woman was called heroin. For me, it was cocaine.
Right.
But the real true addiction was the love I had for comedy. Not to be a comedy star, not to even live in L.A., just to be good.
Right.
Just to be a good comedian. I didn't know what time was. I didn't know what time limits were. Hours, 45 minutes. I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't care about all that shit. When most people, it's really weird when you're 16 and you find your mother on the floor and there's no one, you're the only person that has to take care of you. You learn real quick what things you need to drop from your life for you to survive.
Yeah.
Like there was no more football on Sundays. There was, when I got to high school, I did the thing that I hated. I did the thing that was uncool to do in the 70s. The most uncool thing you could do in the 70s. What labeled you a loser more than putting a tattoo on your forehead that said loser was quitting high school. And because of my mother's death, And because of various other things, I quit high school.
Yeah.
And it was fucking painful. You know what I'm saying? When you're already tagged to be a loser, like people who quit high school were losers. Or not necessarily. Their parents had a business and they were getting groomed to take over the business when they're 40. You're still a fucking moron, you know what I'm saying, for quitting school.
But pain, I think, makes a thing called, it's like situations like the one you described gives you a sense of urgency that I think people don't really move with. And, you know, we've talked about my parents' health and stuff. From a very young age, I figured out that, hey, man, this is going to be different. I can't be up playing video games. I can't, you know, do this and that. I can't be hanging out. I can't, you know, you sacrifice because you know that if there's going to be some kind of relief to if you're going to stop the pain somehow, it's going to be through hard work. And that's what you figured out. And I think a lot of people have figured out when you find the thing that you love to do and then you know that thing's going to provide for your loved ones, most importantly. And then you can get a little kickback from that too. It's like, great.
You know, I came here with a lot of people, and 50% of these people are still here today. And I look at what they're doing, and I look at what I'm doing. And I'm not here to judge nobody, but I see the differences in career paths. And I question, you know, like it makes me feel shitty, but I question what path that we take, that we ended up in different paths, you know, like, you know, why am I still at the Comedy Store when most of the guys I got put up with aren't even allowed on Sunset? The guys I got passed with, like, they're not even allowed on Sunset. I don't even think they're doing comedy. Right. One guy I know for sure is in and out of a fucking cuckoo farm. That same night I got passed, he's in and out of a fucking insane asylum right now. Right. Comedy just ate him up and chewed him up and spit him out. Every 90 days you see him on Facebook, I'm back. And he draws a picture of a guy with a missing leg or something, but it's just like you feel guilty. You said a name, you know, Freddie. I was there with Freddie, you know.
Wow.
I was trying to find my identity, and I saw Freddie go from driver to being on tour with everybody, you know, with Carlos, and then doing his own tour. And then I still remember being at the Houston Comedy Festival with him, and him being on the floor under mine, and fucking, it was all hell down there, you know. And
that's fine.
It's, I think about Freddie from time to time. I see Corey now a lot.
Yeah.
Corey's been up there shaking those titties. So, you know, 15 years later, you got to come out and shake those titties. You know what I'm saying? He's dead and buried.
Do you struggle with the survivor's remorse, or I don't know what you call it, survivor's guilt of sorts? Like, you were kind of touching on that. It's like guys who you started with or got passed with, and is that something you struggle with?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. I don't know if it's luck. I don't know what I did right because I did everything wrong. But, you see, I did everything wrong, but I did one thing right. I put my head down, and I kept going. I never gave up. And every year I added to my arsenal. I saw what people weren't doing, and I tried to add to my arsenal. Early on, I knew I wasn't going to be Louis C.K. They were not going to let me be Louis C.K., and I wasn't going to let myself be Louis C.K. Like, not by taking my dick out. I mean, on the talent level, like, you know, the addiction problems I had wasn't going to let me be Louis C.K., but I kept showing up at the store, following Mooney every night. I didn't give a fuck about that. When I was following Mooney all those years and going to Felipe's and all those guys' rooms and ending up at the store, I wasn't thinking of doing theaters on the weekend. I just want to be funny.
Right.
That's where people get lost. They start looking past that. And your goal is just shut your fucking... Do me a favor. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Until you do halftime of a Buffalo Sabre game, until that time, don't say a fucking word because you don't know dick. And that's where I would go down to the store early and the guys that weren't getting up, it's this negative, it's negative, and it's a reverse guilt that you're on and they're not on. Well, Mitzi likes you. Yeah, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Are you insinuating that I fucked her and ate her ass? No, I didn't. I come here on Sundays, and I make sure on Sundays my game is on top because she's in here. See, in the old days, she would come in during the week.
Wow.
They would tell you, like, when you got there at 9, like, Mitzi's coming. Fuck. 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 You know?
Yeah.
And then she'd sit there, and you're like, thank God, please. And you would actually get people to go talk to her. Do me a favor, go talk to her. Mitzi's giving away spots. Go talk to her. I would trick people to go and talk to her, like when I was on stage. Mitzi's looking for somebody for La Jolla. Go talk to her. That's what you do. And when you wanted her to see somebody, you stood next to her and body blocked her. Hi, Mitch, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Go take a fucking hike. You're in no danger of getting a spot. Mitzi will die before she gives you a spot in this fucking dump. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would just,
great.
Whenever she was there, she created this fucking energy, and they were coming from all over the place. So when, you know, think about parking cars.
Right.
Mitzi comes in at 9:30 on a Tuesday, and at 9:45, there's no comedians in the building.
Oh, shit.
And she's sitting in there, and she's like, bring me water. Pick my feet up, you know, and people picking her little Jewish feet up and shit and put it on a stool. Yeah. And she sits back. There's nobody there. It's 9:45. There ain't nobody there to talk to her.
Shit.
And she watches your whole set, and you die a death of fucking 10 Katrina survivors. Like you die like one of those fags in Orlando. You just get fucking shot in the head, dog. And you walk off that stage. Remember how I said that you didn't even want? You would just look at the carpet,
just look
and
down.
walk out and go. Looks like I'll be parking cars for a long fucking time. I better get used to it.
Yeah,
I better learn how to drive a Tesla.